right, great. Good evening and welcome to the February 8th, 2024 Zoning Commission regular meeting held here in the Town Hall Room 133 at 7 p.m. First order of business, rise and pledge of allegiance. I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like the members here to introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Daryl Pratt, regular member.
Anthony Papucci, Vice Chair.
Kurt Timmerman, Chairman.
Sean Turner, Secretary.
Matt Grimes, alternate.
Thank you, and welcome, Matt, to the commission.
Nice to be back.
Since we're down one, Matt will be a voting member tonight,
Thank you.
right? There's 5 of us.
And I'll just, I'm going to recuse myself from the public hearing as I was not a member of the commission during the previous public.
Great, I understand.
Yep.
All right, so first order of business, 2A, the zoning enforcement officer's report. Fran?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, 47 High Ridge Road, the Salis residence. As indicated at the last meeting, the new trial date has been set for March 6th, 2024, so that's still moving forward as of this time. 11 Cross Road, the Iris residence, was a violation of commercial vehicles and the structures on the yard, 2 carports and stuff. We were actually out there today. They're now currently constructing a fence around the whole property, a stockade fence, to, I guess, to hide what's going on the property. He did come in to talk to me. There's definitely a language difference, barrier between the two of us. I did send him an email sending him the application for the permits for the carports and stuff on the property. I did explain to him he's only allowed 1 commercial vehicle there at night, and there can be no more. During the daytime is different. He's got a lot of work going on at the property. He's still pending with wetlands and building violations, but he is trying to make amends and I think try to correct it to the best of his ability.
Okay.
19 White Pine Drive, the Rui Ribeiro residence, I got a complaint. The lot was cleared to build a house. Since then, the property owner has decided not to build a house. Now he's got individuals bringing wood in there, firewood, and they're using it for site to cut and split wood on site.
Like wood cutting?
Wood cutting and stuff, and they're using it as a commercial operation. I did go out there yesterday, there was nobody out there, so I sent a notice of violation to the property owner, informing them it's a commercial use and it can no longer be going on in a residential zone.
Do they still have permits to build a house if somebody wanted to on that property?
No. 31 Green Knoll Drive, the McGovern residence. The commission at the last meeting wanted me to send a notice of violation. I sent the notice of violation. I did a first class and regular certified mail. As at this time, the notice was sent. Mr. McGovern was in the office yesterday and did an FOI request for all enforcement actions from the commission and from the land use office, and we're in the process of gathering all that information now for him. We did have a brief conversation with Mr. Marcus, but that's irrelevant right now, I think, but as of right now, it's still pending, so.
Yep, okay.
9 Cross Road, the Sweeney residence over there. Again, we were out there again today. We went out there, we did a visual as we were looking at 11 Cross Road. There was no containers in the driveway. There was only 1 container on the truck, and there was a washing machine outside the container. Besides that, I know at the last meeting he indicated he had called prior to the meeting that he had a lot for his containers. Again, there was only 1 container out there today, and that was on the truck, not on the ground. So, moving forward, I'll keep an eye on that one. 83 Federal Road, S&F Investments. This is the mobile station at the bottom down by BJ's down there. We got a complaint of blight, neighborhood blight. I went out there, there was garbage bags, probably at least maybe 75 to 100 of them on the side of the building. The well pump was removed. The Deep has shut the pumps down for, because he's got to, I guess, replace the tanks, I believe it is. It's a tank replacement. So he's not operating for fuel right now. There's no water in the facility, so he's basically letting the place run right down. I know the health department has been involved also on this. They've gone out after him for the putrescent garbage there. So between the both of us, we are both going after him. He was supposed to get a dumpster there because he's supposed to be replacing the tanks, but that hasn't been done yet. So I went right to a cease and desist on that, just due to the appearance of the property. It's
Yeah.
just-
Is Blake panel also on top of this too, or is it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That could be brought up at our next meeting
Yeah.
if he doesn't comply.
Okay,
Because I think Blight will probably have a little more enforcement.
yeah, so now we have the per day fee, so.
Exactly.
Sounds like you'll have DEP issues too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
He's the owner of the property?
He is, yes.
Okay.
89 Wisconsin Road on the citation side of it all. Still waiting on the judge's ruling. I emailed Attorney Tom Beecher yesterday, who had sent me over to Attorney Schellenberg, who's still handling the Gone case. She had sent me an email. I reached out to her this morning, and I haven't got a response back on that, so I don't know what's going on with that. The judge just hasn't ruled on the damages for the town.
Do you remember how long the judge has to come to?
He had
a ruling?
120 days, 4 months,
Oh,
so.
all right, from when he decided.
Yeah, I mean, he had ruled he ruled in favor of the town
Yep,
for the complaint. He just didn't rule on the damages,
okay.
so. And then 35 Hidden Brook Drive, the tourist residence, that's still pending with council, so.
All right, thank you. For correspondence, we have a couple things. 3A, there was the town of, well, actually, we don't really have anything to go over with the Green Knoll, because we already have a notice of violation and all that, so there's nothing new to report there. The town of Newtown, just a zoning change, a zone map change, so that's just for our information. And then a memo from the town clerk to the zoning commission. We actually got two. We got another one today. Actually, Sean, could you read it in?
Prefer not to.
Oh, all right.
Okay for you.
No, I can. No problem.
I hate reading in public.
This is sent to Amy Curran. Is it Curran or Curran or Curran? Curran. Sent Monday, January 29th, 2024, from Andrea DeStefan of the town clerk's office. Laura and Fran, I hope you had a nice weekend. I respectfully request this email to be shared with the zoning commissioners and be included in the correspondence for the next regular meeting. Please see below. Commissioners, during the January 25th, 2024 regular zoning commission meeting, Mr. Getz referenced the resignation letter from Mr. Cass to the town clerk. During this conversation, Mr. Getz stated the commission didn't receive the communication the commission has come to know. Attached you will find, and what was attached is, attached you will find a resignation letter from Mr. Cass received on December 26th, see attached, in town clerk's office. On the attached resignation letter, Mr. Cass noted a CC to Gary Getz. Please be advised that the office of the town clerk proceeded with normal procedure by informing the first selectman's office, see below, email chain. All procedure with respect to the town clerk's office were followed and remained consistent with all board/commission resignations. For reference, during Mr. Getz' tenure, typo, there was one prior resignation made by Ms. Vogel. Ms. Vogel's resignation was reported to the office of the first selectman by my office, remaining consistent with all board/commission resignation procedures. Going forward, the same procedures will be followed with future resignations. Respectfully, Andrea DeStefan, Brookfield Town Clerk. And then there's an email chain where she's sending it up to the first selectman. And then attached is the actual resignation letter dated December 18th, 2023 from Jeffrey Cass, and he was to CC Gary Getz, Aaron Zimmer, and Laura Orban. The carbon copy was actually Mr. Cass's responsibility because he said he did it. It was not a directive to the town clerk. I think that's where the confusion lies. Then there's a second letter. Where's that second? Here it is. To Laura Barkowski, Fran Lally, CC Steve Dunn, from Andrea DeStefan. Good day, Laura and Fran. Respectfully, I'm requesting that you forward this email to the Zoning Commission as correspondence. And this was Monday, February 5th. Congratulations on our newly elected chairman, vice chair, and secretary. I'm confident that you will serve our town well. At a special meeting held on January 31st, 2024, a statement signed by Mr. Getz, Mr. Pratt, and Ms. Armet was read to the members of the public regarding the appointment of Mr. Timmerman to replace a vacancy left by Mr. Cass. Among other things, the authors of the statement inaccurately placed blame on me for the delayed receipt of Mr. Cass' resignation, making it the last 2 meetings in a row that Mr. Getz chose to initiate this inaccurate statement. The Zoning Commission bylaws state that resignations from the commission shall be in written form and transmitted to the town clerk with copies to the chairman of the Zoning Commission. Mr. Cass submitted a resignation letter to the town clerk in written form with copies to the chairman and Zoning Commission chairman, Mr. Getz, Ms. Armet, and Mr. Pratt, period. Mr. Getz, Ms. Armet, and Mr. Pratt clearly misread the bylaws before signing and reading aloud their statement, evidenced by the accusation that this is another violation of the rules, this time from the Zoning Commission bylaws. All procedures were followed. The Zoning Commission bylaws do not, nor should they, give direction to the town clerk. Town Charter Section 3C-1E directs all resignations of elected officials to be in writing to the town clerk. As mentioned in my previous email, procedures will continue as they have in the past. Respectfully, Andrea DeStefan, Brookfield Town Clerk. And that was it.
Kurt? So,
Yes.
just on the procedures, this is going to change soon because of the charter change that merged the planning and the zoning commission.
Sure.
The town clerk notifies the appointing authority, which currently over the zoning commission, that's the Board of Selectmen. When we become the planning and the zoning commission together, planning by state law fills its own vacancies, so since we'll be part of the planning commission, this commission will fill its own vacancies. The new
Okay.
commission will fill its own vacancies for regular members. Selectmen
Right.
will still appoint the alternates,
Yep.
but the regular members will be filled by the
Choose their
commission
own.
itself.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Like
thank
the
you.
Board of Ed and the Board of Finance, and planning now.
And that will happen in the next.
End of 2025?
I was just say 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next election.
Selectmen will continue to appoint the 3 alternates on the new commission.
As I mentioned, I think there was a misunderstanding. Whoever writes a CC is responsible for making that carbon copy and sending it out. Which
Correct,
in this
yeah.
case was Jeffrey Cass, so.
The
if-
town clerk's responsibility is to notify the appointing authority, which
Yeah.
is the Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. All right. Next agenda item 4, review minutes of previous meeting. We have 2 sets of minutes. We'll go through January 25th, 2024 first. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? And does anybody have any concerns or corrections, or inaccuracies? All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
And I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for January 25th, 2024.
Thank you, Tony. And a
Second.
second. Thank you, Sean. Any discussion on the, all right, all in favor of accepting the minutes? Say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?
I'll abstain since I was not a member of the commission at the time.
And, okay, so
Two abstain.
Matt and Daryl are abstaining. So 3-0-2. All right, the next one is the minutes from the January 21st, 2024 special meeting. So did anybody have any concerns or inaccuracies or anything from that minutes? So I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes from that meeting.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Thank you, Sean. And second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Tony. Any discussion on the motion? No, hearing none. All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions?
I'll abstain, I was not a member of the commission.
All right, the same
Same.
result as the last one. All right, thank you. All right, so we're up to 5A, continued public hearing.
And I'm going to recuse myself.
Oh, yes, thank you. This This public hearing was opened, when, December, when did we open this?
Just opened it up.
2 meetings ago?
January 11th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
All right. Have to write these things down. This public hearing is opened on January 11th, 2024, and we had a presentation. The same rules apply since it's still open. But let's see if, but I will go over those rules quickly, and since it's been a couple meetings. So this is a continued regular meeting of the Brooksville Zoning Commission. At this point in our agenda, we scheduled a continued public hearing concerning the application of Permit Advisors LLC, 8320 Wilshire Boulevard, Beverly Hills, Connecticut, California, for Conweb Manufacturing Corporation, 132 Federal Road, Brookfield, Connecticut, 06804. Connecticut application Z-23-67 for special permit with design review for 4,228 square foot medical office per section 4.2A7B. First, let me have the members of the commission reintroduce themselves, starting from my left.
Daryl Pratt, regular commissioner.
Anthony Papucci, Vice Chair.
Kurt Timmerman, Chairman.
Sean Turner, secretary.
Oh, that's it. So we already read the legal notice. This application was formally received by the commission on December 14th. The public hearing is only one aspect of the approval process and is for the purposes of accepting factual information and data bearing on this application and to allow expression of opinion by interested parties. Subsequent to this hearing, the commission has 65 days in which to render a decision on this proposal. The final decision may be in the form as approved as submitted, approved with stipulations, or denied. After reading into the record the correspondence received by the commission relative to this application, we will ask the applicant to present the application in detail, which actually he already has. They had a limit of 45 minutes. The chair will then entertain questions of clarification concerning the application presentation. We will hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the application, followed by those who are opposed. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public have one opportunity to speak during this segment of the hearing and may also submit their concerns in writing during the public hearing. During this segment, the commissioners may ask additional questions. The bylaws of the commission allow only for presentation of similar positions in succession and preclude the intermixture of comments pro or con. All questions and comments must be directed through the chair. As you are recognized, please state your name and address so your comments may be legally recorded. Please be assured that everyone will be given the opportunity to speak. However, the commission is most interested in hearing factual information relative to the application. And in view of the time constraints placed upon us, we ask your indulgence in not reiterating comments previously presented. After the public comments are received, the applicant will have the opportunity to comment and the time will be limited to 10 minutes. Are there any questions about the procedure? So there's no more correspondence.
There is none,
Nope.
there's none.
Okay,
And just the one clarification on the parking, that it was submitted to the commission
yes.
at the previous meeting, so.
And so one of the clarifications is the requirements is 16 spots for the size of the application they're putting in. And they, and I don't, are you all familiar with the
I am.
building and everything? So if the applicant has any summary or review for us, that would be great. If you come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Kreshnik Yusufi. Our address is sorry, I already forgot it. The 132 Federal Road in Brookfield.
Okay.
We have multiple addresses for our urgent cares. I did do a presentation last time I was here on January 11th.
Mhm.
If you'd like me to go over that again, I'm happy to. As far as what we left off last year, I believe it was the question about the parking
Right.
spaces. I do understand that, you know, the representatives, the project managers from Permit Advisors did send an email because they
Mhm.
listened to the entire presentation.
Yes, yes.
And they did try to clarify that the 43 parking spaces that was listed on the application, that was just what was in front of the building, I guess, or in front of the space. But in total, there were 92 parking spaces.
Mhm.
We will be allocated 16, and there are 4 other businesses there. So even if, you know, even if each each business had 16, there'd still be enough with the 92. So there
Yeah.
shouldn't be any concern with us having enough parking.
All right, and you have yours. You have the required amount
Right,
for yourselves allocated. All right, and so this is urgent care, and you found that there's a need for it in this area, basically.
Yeah, and I went into that a little bit last time, but you know, we determined that there's a need for it in this community. We're partnered with New Vance Health, which is, you know, Norwalk Hospital, Danbury Hospital. We think we'd be a great, you know, place for the community to go for their urgent care needs, and to kind of decant those hospitals so they're not so, Danbury Hospital specifically and New Milford, so they're not so busy. And I personally used to work for Physician One Urgent Care. That was my last job, and actually part of my job was to oversee the Brookfield Urgent Care that already exists on by Four Corners over there.
Yeah, on Federal Road.
Federal Road, yeah.
Got it.
So I saw firsthand, you know, the town loves urgent care. You know, it's great because primary care sometimes are booked. People don't want to go to urgent care for a little cut. They come to us instead. So it's good, and I think it will be good for the community.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions of clarification from the commission? All right, any questions of clarification from the public? All right, anybody like to speak in favor of the application? Anybody like to speak in opposition? All right, and so any more questions? I guess I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion, go ahead.
Do I have, or you want me to do it? I'll do it.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Oh, no. I'll make a motion to close the public comment for 132 Federal Road, Z 2367, permit for Permit Advisors LLC, Wilshire Boulevard, Beverly Hills, for ComWeb Manufacturing, for the special permit design for the medical purposes per section 4.2A7B.
All right, and a second?
One
Thank
second.
you, Tony. Thank you, Daryl.
That wasn't me.
That was Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just
Over
gonna make
there,
sure.
that's right. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions?
One.
All right, so Daryl abstains. All right, why don't we go right into deliberations before we go down, so here we deliberate in open session. Nobody can talk to us. We talk among ourselves. And it looks pretty straightforward, you know, fit up for urgent care, and I think it's probably good to have it there.
Yeah,
I wasn't here, so.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine, yeah.
yeah, I was okay with it. Again, my only question was the parking,
Yeah,
and that's been satisfied. So
Yeah.
I agree. I don't see any negatives to it.
yeah. And, you know, they do have plenty of parking.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Oh, by the way, whenever we make motions here, they're always to approve. That's how we do it, and then either, approve or deny after that, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the 132 Federal Road Z-23-67 special permit for the medical office per section 4.2A7B.
Second?
A second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
One.
Okay, so it's 3, 4, and 1 abstention.
3.
3, 4.
Matt.
Oh, he's recused.
Right.
He's not even abstaining. He's, so it's just a 3-1.
3-1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where I was-
3-0-1, yeah.
Yeah. That's where I was going with this. When
Oh.
you said 4, I was like, that's
Oh, I'm
3.
sorry, did I? Oh, losing my mind. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wrong one, correct, I think.
Oh, you're right, that's the receiver. Just make sure it has the right date on it.
I fixed it, it's,
Okay.
check it every now and then.
I didn't think you need documents. I do. right, where's the next agenda item? Seem to have lost it already. Oh, there it is. Or is that yours?
Fine, sorry.
All right, we have no new public hearings to open. There's no old business. We just have new business, which 271 Federal Road, application Z-24-1. Alls we're doing here is setting the public hearing date, because you need to have at least 2 weeks of advertising, public notice for special, public hearings. And so the earliest we can set it is for February 2nd, 2024, which is 2 weeks from now.
Motion to set a public hearing for 2/22/24 on the 271 Federal Road application.
All right, do I have a second? Thank you,
Second.
Matt. Okay, thank you, Tony. Any discussion on setting a public hearing for that date?
Do we have to put the time of the public hearing in the motion, or no?
No, we stopped doing that, so they could
Okay,
end up being, so we didn't have to interrupt our flow.
okay.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
All right,
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions?
This one.
All right, 0 abstains, 401. Public hearing is set for February 22nd, 2024 for application Z-24-1. All right, we moved on to 9A, draft regulation, change cannabis sales and distribution. You should see in your packet, and I also distributed to the new members. Oh, and Matt hasn't seen it, but it's in his packet now.
This
The
one?
draft regulations.
Yeah. I got it, yeah.
So I didn't know if you had a chance to review it.
I did, yeah.
Oh, good. We put everything in there because, you know, with these sort of zoning things, you can't add things after the fact, you can only
Right.
subtract them. So it has everything in it, and of course, when we go to public hearing, to hear from the public and the commission members, things could be taken out until we get to our final language. So I've already seen it a few thousand times. So what do you think, commission members, especially Tony, Sean, and Matt, about, do you see any things that you think should be changed or tightened up?
I didn't.
It seems to run parallel to what other municipalities have done regarding this area
Yeah.
Correct.
of law, so it seems to fall in lockstep with that, and it follows, and it references the statutory scheme, which is a good thing. so.
Yeah, so if it changes, we don't have to come back and make a change. We try to follow, since it's an adult use sort of thing, we try to follow the same restrictions that the alcohol and other adult things, and same for the medical marijuana. Before we had our cannabis moratorium, we did allow medical marijuana dispensaries, and so we had already gone through that language, and it was a part of the regulation. So some of those distance things from the 500 feet from various residences, schools, and everything basically stayed the same. We just added this as another adult use.
Well, for a long time, it took, because Fran will remember when we were on the commission together, we were waiting and waiting and waiting for the Department of Public Health to come out with regulations that backed up the statutes.
Yeah.
And we had to keep re-upping the moratorium because we didn't want to have the ordinance without knowing what the regulations were. That's
Yes.
how Bethel got itself in a strange situation a few
Yeah.
years ago. So I'm glad we now have the regulations. We've got a good statutory scheme on that
Mhm.
to guide the municipalities on that, so.
The only question that I have is the medical use versus adult use.
Mhm.
And have we allotted for both?
In this, we do, because, you mean like a hybrid scheme?
Correct.
So it's in addition to hybrid retailer, which is part of the definitions that were added, I also, if you look under the proposed language for, on page 5 of this, 4.4M cannabis establishments, listed all the different establishments, actually. And the reason why it's draft 2 is because in draft 1, I forgot to put medical marijuana dispensary. I don't know how I missed that. But in there, under 2B is a hybrid retailer.
Okay.
So those are handled both medical and retail.
And Tony, I'm pretty sure that 21A statutory scheme addresses exactly.
It should.
The differentiation.
Yeah, because I was,
And if we're doing the ordinance under the guidance or the zone change on the guidance of that, I think that we're okay.
Yeah, look, I agree. I actually went and I was doing some digging for, again, other municipalities, including Danbury, since clearly they have two.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that. And again, the reason why is the hybrid was the anomaly. There's some that are strictly adult use.
Yeah.
There was one that was medical, and then it got converted to the hybrid.
Right,
Medical
botanist.
and, right, that's why. And I just wanted to make sure that we had, again, the same provisions. I didn't see anything that jumped out that didn't say it, but I just wanted to make sure that we had it covered.
Now, during our last regular meeting, we had a presentation by SLAP, which is called Canaston Brookfield. I don't know if you got a copy, because
I don't think
you
I
weren't
did.
here, but the rest of us
No.
got that. And one of the things that seemed like interesting, and I think I forgot about it, was capping the number, you know, so. And actually, that could be added later, because that's more of a restriction rather than addition. The state used to have caps, and then they removed them. So you can have as many as you want. A town can.
Can the municipality cap, though?
But yeah, adding a municipality cap, I thought maybe that's a good idea.
Right.
Well, they still do have the cap on alcohol sales establishments, so.
Yes, but not on marijuana, oddly
No.
enough.
Well, I think it's still for lack of a better term, an evolving industry within
Right.
the state.
But again, the reason why is, and again, Danbury has a limit of 2, and they're both full. So the issue becomes if you have a license and you can achieve getting a license, you could flood the zone, so to speak, put multiple
Yeah.
shops in a town.
Well, I'd like to see if we're doing that, something along the lines of not only the limit, but also the distance you could have between them.
Yeah, so right now,
I agree.
it's there's a 500 feet distance between any other adult. So if you had a liquor store, you had to be 500 feet away from that too, not just another marijuana establishment.
And then we specified that it had to be, I think, front door to front door.
Front door to property line.
Yeah.
So the front door of the adult establishment to whatever property line, because we don't know what's gonna happen on that property, you know, and it could change in the future, but the front door of your place isn't. So it used to be a very convoluted calculation that could be used and reinterpreted many, many ways, as we know about the alcohol, the liquor stores in town, you know, they've been through that a lot. So, looking at this, that would be the only thing I would add is a cap. It doesn't have to be, I could add it to the language somewhere. I try to, you know, put these things in the various places that made sense. And then that actual cap could be decided later, you know, with the number.
Why don't you use wording like, see what wording you have in Danbury and what you have in other municipalities? and
All right.
Kind of give you some guidance there.
Yep.
There wasn't anything that was actually called out from what I saw in that Danbury regulation that they're following. That's state, it's not the town.
Not anymore, though.
No, correct,
But it used to be.
When it was issued, that's where, and
Oh.
the woman that came and spoke, because I also asked about distance. You've got Butter on Federal Road in Danbury.
I believe Ridgefield implemented something similar that was the state's in their ordinance that
Kind of, yeah.
that kind of mirrored what the state was.
Right.
And it's kind of, you know, now that we know the state might remove restrictions, and we were relying on a restriction, it's best to sort of mirror it, so that if all of a sudden the backstop falls away, we're not left, you know, unprotected.
You know, this also may be taken up in this legislative session, which is gonna be a short session, so this may be something we wanna wait till May to approve when the legislature adjourns,
Yeah.
if there's something else that comes out on this. I don't know.
I mean, you know, since it's a restrictive addition, we can add it during the public hearing. So maybe, like you said, Nat, we can wait to see which way the chips fall and to see whether we need to add it or not.
Because you'd hate to approve this now and have them go do something different in Hartford.
Yeah, and then nullify what we've just done.
Right.
It's an expensive ordeal to open up one of these. I don't think it's gonna be a mad dash here to Brookfield.
I agree,
It-
I
it-
agree.
We have 18,000 people here, I mean.
No, agreed, but the one caveat that the person that presented last meeting pointed out, the licenses, unless you've established the business, the licenses are only good for a year. And with the ever-changing it's possible that larger distributions or companies that have the wherewithal could then take a license. And then, again, now it goes into some of the things that we're talking about. If a big cannabis company comes in and decides, hey, I'm gonna do something comparable to like Cloud9, where they've got shops all over the place. And if there aren't any restrictions against, again, those are the headwinds that we could be fighting.
No, I know, I'm just saying, that you could put a cap on it now, it doesn't have to be huge, it could be 5, 10, or whatever, I don't think it's gonna be a mad dash up to Brookfield, we've got 18,000 people here, it's not like it's, Danbury's got a lot more people, and they're getting by with 2. I don't think there'd be any more.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we can probably finish the draft, put in a placeholder for that, and then submit the application and then see where that goes. What we have to do though is if everybody, I could put that in, put the draft out there. And maybe the next meeting, look at the language, agree that the language is okay, and agree to put an application in. Does that seem like a good going forward?
Has Attorney Beecher reviewed the latest?
Oh, and then, of course, get the attorney in the meantime. He's pretty responsive, so I think he'd be able to pop through this pretty quickly. We have 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, definitely, I would like him to weigh in on this.
Yes, absolutely. All right. And Daryl,
Yes, sir.
just anything we put in during the public hearing, if we, as members, we decide we don't think that's a good idea, out it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. All right. And 9B, revision of zoning fee schedule. I don't know, did you,
I don't really have an update for it for the same purposes as last time, until we actually go through some of the zoning regulations. I would really like them to mirror the
Yeah.
actual fee schedule. Currently, we have some changes and difference in languages. Natural resources, we might wanna change it
Yeah.
to an excavation fill permit, for example.
Yep.
I do have the memo that I think I provided to the commission.
yes.
I don't know if one was submitted to Mr. Grimes as far as any proposed changes to the regulations.
I don't believe it was, but Fran or you can email it to me, it's fine.
Yeah. And one thing I thought about is similar to like the industry does with ISO 9001. We usually have the high level, in this case would be our regulations. The next level might be the application and then the fee schedules. They all report to each other in the table so you can, just like you want, go across each other. And the other thing I thought might be good is checklists for some of these, like special, public hearings. I know Rochelle was starting to do checklists because for the commission members, like, for example, accessory apartments, making sure someone's over 55 or something, and make sure you check off all the requirements as per Section 8 for the various things. Because it's so easy just to rip through something and forget something important, and we want to make sure the record shows that we are, took care of all the points that we need to take care of.
I do think that in the not too far distant future, this is something that we have to collaborate with the planning commission on as we
Yeah.
move to the combined commission. This needs to be a joint effort
Yep,
once the commission's
Yeah.
combined.
all right. Yeah,
Maybe have a talk with Scott about that or something.
that's a good idea. Because, in fact, since there'll be one commission, the documents should probably all fall under the same thing, because I don't know what their documents look like for a subdivision plan. and
Exactly,
things like
yeah.
that.
That's gonna all be part of the same operation, so.
Yeah, all right, so Matt will get his copy and
Yep,
and
thank
take
you.
it,
Thank you.
and then everybody can review, and then we maybe can do some discussion on what we looked at for that. 10, Commissioner comments and informal discussion, if anybody wants to say anything, but first, welcome to Matt Grimes, who he's appointed and to an alternate position, so he joins Gwen as an alternate on the commission.
Thank you. I look forward to working with everybody. I spent 7 fun years on this commission with quite a few talented commissioners, and I think that, look forward to helping all of you and having you all help me and making this transition over to P and Z.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Nice to work with all of you. Thank you.
Anybody else have any, do you have anything, France? A lot of times you used to have stuff at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, no roosters or nothing, everything's good, everything's good.
No trespassing chickens? No.
No.
I was gonna say, don't jinx it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's almost that time, chicks are gonna be coming out.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, give it another 2
yeah, I was in
months.
another town, I heard a rooster, I'm like, no, wrong town, I don't care if I hear a rooster or not.
But, yeah.
All right, well, last is adjournment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Adjourn meeting.
Darrell?
I'll second it.
Tony seconds it, all in favor, say aye.
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 That's unanimous, we're out of here. Thank you, everybody.